working there, I was also interviewed.
Yeah.
I was also tested. I was also put to a lot of difficult situations where I had to prove myself. It gave me a little understanding of an employee aspect also. I really can understand what an employee thinks, how an employee thinks. Communication, I feel, is the key because customers are sitting there, we are here. The only thing linking us is communication. So a lot of things we have to make sense out of what the customer wants. What really caught me off guard was the ground reality of this industry. From outside, this industry seems very charming and very rosy, talking to foreign customers, going traveling abroad, making bags, fashion industry, working with brands. It seems very charming from outside, but ground reality is completely different.
It's opposite.
It's completely opposite.
Welcome to the Dutch in Dialogues with Hugo. I'm your host, Hugo van der Wouw, and today's guest is Shashwat Bhuwalka from Sapid Designs. Shashwat, welcome to the podcast.
You.
Shashwat, can you tell us a little bit more about your journey from your studies in the UK and where you are right now?
Firstly, Hugo, thank you for having me over.
Welcome.
My journey has been quite an interesting one. I've studied in UK. I've completed my bachelor's and master's in engineering. Then I worked there for 2 years in a construction firm as a designer and engineer. It was always my plan to get some experience there, come back to India and start something of my own. I've been from a business background and my family has been having business in leather industry. So I was always inclined towards having something in leather, and Calcutta being leather hub. So leather goods, somehow it was always in the back of my mind that I need to get into that. So once I completed my studies and work experience there, I came back to India. I established Sapid Designs, and we are where we are right now.
Yeah. Was manufacturing always in the picture?
You go to some extent, yes, I would say. I was never, I was always having a broad mind. But one thing I was very clear that I wanted to gain experience, come back to India, start my business. So be it leather, not leather, that was never on my mind. I was never fixed on that. But somehow leather was having some inclination because that's what I've seen growing up within the family. So yes, manufacturing, because I wanted to get into business, manufacturing was one of the ideal options for me being in Calcutta. So we established Sapid Designs.
Yeah. Okay. Your wife and you both worked and studied in the UK, right?
Yeah.
So you have both experienced how it is to work and live in the UK.
Yeah.
What is the difference being in the UK and having experience there and then coming back to India? What is the thing, what you have found the most difficult one to adapt back into the Indian working experience?
Culturally, it was not that much a jump for us because entire life we have been born and brought up here. So culturally, it wasn't that much of difference. Professionally, yes, there's a good difference. Firstly, there's a difference in work culture there and work culture in India. And there also, I was working, I was an employee there.
Okay.
I came back to India, I became an employer. So there was a big
Huge
change
difference
in the role. So that was a bit challenging for me. And, having experience there, coming back to India, it gave us a lot of global perspective, I would say. So she's into designing and event management. So she also got a good exposure from UK. I also got a good exposure of UK. I got to understand the Western culture, Western mindset, which actually has helped me tap customers and get new clients, retain clients, maintain good communications with them. So overall, I would say we have learned a lot from our time in UK.
Yeah, so like the difference to be employed or to be an employer. I think that also helps you when you hire people into your company to understand what it is to work as an employer or to be employed.
Yes, Hugo, because when I was working there, I was also interviewed.
Yeah.
I was also tested. I was also, I would say, I was put to a lot of difficult situations where I had to prove myself. So it gave me a little understanding of an employee aspect also. So being an employer now, I really can understand what an employee thinks, how an employee thinks, what they want, what they expect. So it has got me best of both sides, actually, I feel.
So it helped you a lot by being abroad in the UK
Yeah.
and also have the experience with your wife at the
Yes.
same time. So
Yes.
when you talk about anything what happened with the customer or how customers sometimes react, and you explain this to your wife, she immediately also can understand.
Yes, she also helps me a lot of time. I take her input also in many situations.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
go and discuss her with her that these are the problems we are facing. This is the email that I received from a customer. How do I respond to that? So a lot of time. She really helps me out.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good to have that support from your wife.
Because she understands the Western world also very well. She understands what kind of response I need to put, what words to use. So she also understands that, and it really shapes out pretty
It's a
well.
lot of communication, sometimes lack of communication, of understanding what people from abroad, especially Europe, UK, US, the perspective of understanding what people like buyers really mean is sometimes misunderstood within the
Yeah.
factories here.
Yes.
That's what I.
Yes, that is, communication I feel is the key, because, customers are sitting there, we are here. The
Yeah.
only thing linking us is communication.
True.
So that has to be spot on, that has to be to the point, and, to understand each other. There's a cultural difference, communication, words, meaning. So a lot of things we have to make sense out of what the customer wants. Many times I think customer also makes sense out of our whatever email we write. They also try and make sense of what we are wanting to say. So I think it goes both sides, but for us it has really helped us understand that Western mindset pretty well.
That's true. That's very important. We stopped working in 2018 when you just started your company.
Yeah.
So what were you looking into the collaboration with me?
So as you know, you were one of my first clients, and of course I had a lot of expectations, a lot of hopes. So we did a good two collections. I think initially we started with one, then we went on to the other one. We have given our best. We have grown together. During COVID times also, I think we have done pretty well compared to other brands. We have grown together. So I think, it was a lot of too much to learn, I would say, in the initial phase. I learned a lot with our collaboration. We grew, and it was all in all a very successful relationship, I feel, from both sides. I feel.
Yeah, of course. I saw you growing also as a
Yeah.
company, and as a person also,
Yeah.
where you were a little bit unsure what to do in the beginning. That I think, okay, with the right guidance and the right, motivation, effort, which everyone has to put into
Yeah.
their company, it's really important in the very initial stage to make the right base out of
Yes.
each and everything.
Yes,
You
yes.
don't need to know each and everything in the very early beginning, as long as you work towards improvement.
Yeah.
And I could also see that within your company over the years. So congrats to that.
Thank you.
Was there any pivotal moment since you started your business that you think, okay, this is now exactly why I started this manufacturing?
Hugo, it's difficult to just pinpoint one moment. Every day is a new chapter I see. So because this industry is so dynamic and there's so much variable here in terms of designs, in terms of raw materials, in terms of managing workforce. So there's every day is a new experience. You learn every day, you grow every day. So it's more of a gradual process, I would say, rather than just one specific pivotal moment.
Yeah, yeah. So it's all combined.
All combined, Hugo.
Yeah. Correct. When you enter this leather manufacturing space, it's a complicated industry. Is there something what caught you really off guard? Something you didn't expect at all, that you think, this I never was prepared for, or something that really.
What really caught me off guard was the ground reality of this industry. From outside, this industry seems very charming and very rosy. Talking to foreign customers, going traveling abroad, making bags, fashion industry, working with brands. It seems very charming from outside, but ground reality is completely different.
It's opposite.
Completely opposite. So, You need to manage workforce, you need to take care of designs, raw materials management, operations. So there is so much to do. Every day is like, to some extent, I would say a bit of firefighting every day. That is what really took me by surprise. I was very keen on getting into this industry, but I wasn't expecting yes, such situations also.
Yeah, that will keep on happening also. I think due to the situation the industry is working with, like there are a lot of daily workers or people come to the factory in and out, and that you not really can rely on people that they always will be there when you are needing them. It's also sort of the way this industry is working in India in general, I would say. That makes it more difficult than actually it has to be when everything is also better organized. So things should really done via a system. Something I really always teach my people: work efficient. Every day you try to get the most done. The output should be higher every day. So that is something what I miss within the factories, that the guidance sometimes is not there properly done by the people, and then it becomes more challenging than it actually should be when more systems are into place. And
You
that
know,
maybe that cloud, what people think of, oh, it's nice to travel and be with foreign customers, etc. Then actually that will be pushed to the background because your attention and your focus is more into executing each and everything than really working on with your client to get a better product, to work on your pricing, etc. You agree?
yes, Hugo. I do agree with that. There is a gap I feel here. The industry needs to be more system driven, I feel. It is still a little bit of people driven. Like you say, we need to instill more systems into place. So I think that's where we are focusing a lot. We are focusing on improving our systems, training our people, instilling skills. So that is what I've been focusing since day one in our company. So I want to work with fresh-minded people. So we have young
A young
workforce,
team. Yeah.
a young team, because I wanted the mindset to be aligned with my mindset.
Correct.
So how I want to work with the people, with the systems. So that has really helped me get to where I am right now.
Like a personal question, you know me, and I'm a very direct person.
Yeah.
Did that help you also to be more direct to your people?
Yes, Hugo. I think there were some situations, you also know what I'm referring to, where you were pretty direct when things were not going right, or there were some deviations which were, beyond acceptable limits. So you were quite direct with what you want to achieve, what you want or what you were expecting, and you have directly told our people also, not just me. You have communicated to the people who are doing work at the level of production. So I think that has really helped the people, the team, boost their understanding and morale, because we push them every day. We that is our daily job, to push them and motivate them, boost their morale, improve efficiency. But coming from a customer, it has a different impact. So many times where we have been direct with our workforce, that has really helped, that has pushed them, I feel, to extend.
Well, like in my position, I think I also can do that in a certain way because not that I'm a buyer, but also I was on your side.
Yeah.
I manufactured myself.
Yeah.
So I know how difficult it is also to control people on the floor. And sometimes just by giving them some, it's not like scolding them or giving them a big dose, but just by explaining what should be done in a different way so
Yeah.
that the outcome is better.
Yes.
That is the focus where I always put the most attention to.
It gives a bit of clarity, and many times it happens that when I'm doing something, my mind is just stuck on one thing.
Yeah.
If there is a second person or third person telling me that no, it needs to be done this way, productivity will be better, or this that, so that really
It's all
helps.
about
Yeah.
efficiency also,
Yeah. So
something we really
yes,
look into.
Yes. So that's what I mean, that I want people who are a little open-minded and fresh-minded, not a very close-minded people who,
Open
my
for
way is the correct
improvement.
way.
Yeah.
I don't prefer working with such people, because every day is a new day. You learn, you need to continuously improve on your personal level, on your professional level.
Yes.
It has to be a process rather than a,
Yeah, just normally
yeah,
just executing whatever has been
yeah,
told you also don't like.
yeah.
People should be really busy with their job role to make sure that, at the end is also more exciting. Who wants to do every time the same thing over and over again becomes very boring, I feel. Trust is one of, the biggest values we have between the two of us. So in your professional life and personal life, how do you see trust in general?
To me, trust is everything. Be it professional, be it personal. I I regard trust as the topmost principle. Professionally speaking, the entire supply chain relies on trust. Be it from root level to the end customer, there's trust needed in
Everywhere,
every
every
level.
stage.
So, and by trust, really, what I mean, what I refer to is like having integrity, having competence, and having reliability. So,
Correct.
that's what I define as trust. And so, all these things are also needed at your personal level. You need integrity also at your personal level. You need reliability also at your personal level. So it goes both ways.
So how much trust you have from your suppliers?
I would like to believe, I think all the suppliers that we have been working with, they are still working with us. Of course, negotiations are part of business day to day. So
That's normal.
yeah, but I think the suppliers who we work with, they, I don't think so any of them will say that, from integrity point of view, from ethics point of view, they are not going to doubt us. That is one guarantee that I can tell you. So I've been very clear with with things. If there is some deviation in our commitments, I've been very clear with them. So I think communications is the key to building trust.
I agree. That's most important thing.
And
Otherwise,
between us also,
yeah.
whatever issues or deviations in production or something, whenever we have always communicated with each other. I think that is one of the tools, I think, that has strengthened our relationship together over the
True.
years. And I really regard communications and eventually trust as the highest principal value in a person.
you can not agree on each and every
Yeah.
point. It can be price, it can be wrong delivery, late delivery, whatever can happen within the manufacturing part from your side. But at the end, when you come across and you understand each other, and you just can simply say, okay, for now this is acceptable, but next time you have to really improve all of this.
Yeah.
Then as a buyer, or with my company where we do quality control, we trust on you that you take all the right steps,
Right.
so that all these kind of things will not happen again. So can you recall any moment that our partnership was tested in this way? And have you learned from this, or what? I mean, I know you learned from that, of course, but is there something that you really think, okay, that was really something that there really became a little bit shaky?
So Hugo, we have made collections together. We have negotiated together. So of course there were some instances where we were disagreeing with each other, but we always resolved each and every disagreements. It was never about I am right or you are right. It was about what made most sense.
Correct.
It was always about that. For towards both our interests. What made most sense for both our interests. So I think there were a couple of instances where I think you know what I'm referring to, where you were not happy with how things were, and you came and told us very, very directly, that this is not acceptable, things have to go in this way. And you have told us that okay, fine, within this time you have to rectify and then get things done. We have done that. We got the team to work much more efficiently. And so all in all, we have learned a lot as our collaboration. And
But always with one thing in mind, that whatever you deliver, that we can sell, and that you get repeat orders, because that's the core of our business, what we are doing. We want to have more orders for you, and that only will come when you deliver us on
100%,
time and the right
100%.
quality for, against the right price. And I think over the period of time, the years that we are working together, now you're also achieving this kind of things by just simply changing your way of working, putting more efficiency into in your factory, you know, the right procurement of your
Right.
materials, working with the right
Suppliers.
tanners, hardware suppliers, etc. That is, I think, in general, in the whole industry, the most important thing, where a lot of factory owners still not going the right path.
Like I always tell my people, we are as good as our worst supplier.
Correct.
So, because making a bag takes about 25 to 30 raw materials.
Yeah,
So
components.
components, different. Yeah. So, uh, if one material is delayed, so we cannot move
The
further.
whole thing
Yeah.
goes wrong.
So we are as good as our worst supplier.
Yeah.
So we have to have the right supply chain so that we are able to deliver as per our commitments to our customers.
That also means that you have to teach your people who are doing the procurement in the right way, how to communicate with the suppliers so that they bring their message also across. Same thing what I do with you. You
Yes,
have learned.
Many times I tell them, like they come to me, say that, sir, we can use this, we can use that. I just ask them one thing, if you were the end customer, would you buy this product?
Exactly.
Would you pay so much amount to buy this product? And you will be surprised, 80% of the scenarios, they say no.
Exactly.
So you have the answer. So rectify, get things done, get the right material, get the product rightly made.
Yeah, no compromise on the quality, etc.
Nothing.
That's very important. You work with domestic buyers and foreign buyers.
Yes.
Can you mention what is the difference between the two of them? Is there any huge difference or something what you say, okay, that is completely different if you work with a domestic buyer or someone from abroad?
So, when it comes to mindset and expectations, I would say there's no such difference. Because all a client wants is timely delivery of quality products and good communications. So I think it's the same for any customer in India or any customer abroad. So
not much
difference in terms of mindset and expectations from us as a supplier. But of course, there is a difference because in the market, in the designs and leathers and all those things. But when it comes to working and what they are wanting or what they are expecting from us as a supplier and the service that they are wanting, I think it's pretty much the same.
What about communication?
Communication aspect also, Hugo. Here also the customers want prompt communications. If there is any deviations, they want us to be upfront, not like when they are asking us, then we respond to them. They want us to be upfront because, I think every customer understands that this is a manufacturing industry with too much variables. So there might be some hiccups here and there, but they want us to be transparent enough with them to communicate things on time.
Correct.
So if the leather is coming delayed, shipment date is within 2 days, they don't expect us to respond to them now, 2 days before shipment date.
Much more in advance.
Yeah. So if the leather has been delayed, we know much before that, shipment cannot go in 2 days. So they want that transparency and prompt communications, which I feel, that is where I have focused since our day one. And I keep telling my team to the current day that communications is what is going to build relationship, nothing else. So that is something, and customers do understand, delays here and there, hiccups, they do understand.
Can happen,
Can happen, yeah. But communication has to be the topmost priority.
What's one thing most of the international buyers misunderstand from Indian factories, in your opinion?
A foreign customer is coming to India. I feel they have a bit of transactional mindset. What I mean by that is, they look for speedy deliveries and tight prices. But we as a supplier, what we want is a long-term relationship with them, so that there is a building of trust and loyalty, which in the long run will turn out to be asset for both the sides. So that is something what we feel as suppliers, is missing. So instead of focusing on price and timely tight deliveries and everything, we need to understand each other very well so that we can have a long-term relationship which will benefit both the sides in the end.
So don't commit anything what you're not able to achieve.
Yes, overcommitment, many times that happens that, just to take orders, we tend to overcommit. And then we figure out how do we go about it.
Yeah.
And then we go back to the customer and say that, okay, fine, give us few extensions here and there. But, I would not like to work that way. I would not prefer working that way. We need to be clear what is within our capacity, what we can do,
Yes.
rather than taking orders and just telling them some reason, some excuse later on. So even customers do understand that. We should not take the other side for granted.
Yeah, of course. But this proper planning is needed.
Proper planning
and
is
knowing
needed.
what is possible within your capacity.
Yeah. Many times, of course, customers do come up with unreasonable timelines.
Yeah.
That happens. Even the customer knows, but some situations they also can't help it because they also have further commitments to do.
Yeah.
But we have to be very clear with that because one failure will impact a lot of things in future.
So in this environment that you are working in, like where things are not so organized, so what kind of system do you put in place to make sure that you can execute the orders on time and against the right quality?
So I would say it's not just one particular system. Its system needs to be placed in each and every stage, each and every step. So from sampling, sourcing, production, then QC, then packing, everything has to be having correct systems, correct checkpoints. So it's a series of systems, and series of processes which we need to put in, and every system, every process has to be rightly placed because it's like a domino effect, I would say.
Yes.
If one thing is delayed, one thing is going wrong, it will have an impact
on the rest as well.
Yeah.
You make sure that also within the factory people are communicating in the right way. So, like for example, you do a lot of internal sessions about how to communicate with each other, like daily meetings or whatever. Can you explain a little bit about this?
Yes, Hugo. I mean, there are different departments, and every department has a different own goals to achieve. So we need to, but ultimately everyone has a common goal to get the right delivery on time. So many times we need to align everything together. For that, we need to have communications correctly done within the team. Not just verbally. Certain communication needs to be done in writing, over emails, or in face-to-face sitting in front of each other. So, like communication is key everywhere.
Yeah.
Internally, externally, it is the key that gets the game going.
True. I think also a lot of motivation is required in this, that they don't do blame gaming, like because of you I cannot proceed or whatever. So that is a very important, something I do with my team actually a lot.
That does happen. I mean, I wouldn't say it is a very unlikely scenario, but it does happen very often. But ultimately, everyone has one common goal.
True.
So that is what I keep telling them, that we all have one common goal. Even if we are working different departments, everyone has a different agenda, but ultimate goal is the same for each and everyone working within the factory.
And we should be working as a team.
Yes.
To execute everything at the right time against the right quality.
And one team will have an impact on the other team. So we need to understand that my failure will impact my next stage.
Yeah.
Sourcing delay will impact the production, which will impact quality, and then deliveries and so on. So it is a series of things which needs to be properly aligned with systems and processes correctly placed, which will ultimately help us deliver quality goods to you, to customers on time.
What do you think is one of the biggest mistakes international buyers make by sourcing from India?
I wouldn't say a mistake as such, but I feel that, many times international buyers work with Indian suppliers with some kind of doubt in mind.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yes. For example, if there is, like customers may have doubt if we are using the right materials as promised, if we are sourcing it from the correct source as promised, as per the samples, if we are doing it or not, we are getting the right leather, or we are manipulating the materials a little bit to get lower cost. So those kind of things, I feel, there's some doubt always in the buyers, maybe in Indian buyers also here. So every buyer is having that doubt, I feel, which to some extent hinders in the way of building relationships
So you
and
have
trust.
to do more, uh, prove yourself.
So we
Actually.
have to prove ourselves, and the only way to do is communications again. So I really focus on communications, be it on WhatsApp, phone calls, emails, whichever way. Communications is the key to grow further. Long-term relationship building, everything is relying on communications.
The key is communication in
Communications.
general.
Yeah, that is my mantra, I would say. Communications.
Well, I completely agree with you. Because like, if you don't communicate on time, if a mail don't get answered, let's say today I sent a mail, but in 2-3 days I didn't receive any reply, then I really also start questioning. Okay, what's the problem? Why isn't he not transparent with me? Or
You start having doubts, like
yeah,
what
then
is
the doubt
what
comes
is
by
going
itself.
on, what is happening.
Yes,
So
and that we don't want.
yeah,
Just
I think it
better-
goes both sides.
Yes,
Yeah,
both
I think,
sides. Yeah, of course. That's really important. When multiple clients, especially high maintenance ones like me, how do you manage when we want our orders be prioritized?
I think that's pretty much every customer. So every customer wants some prioritization of their orders, their inquiries.
But how do you manage that?
So you need to have the right team, with the right mindset, right systems in place, because the market is very dynamic right now. Things need to speed up. Things needs to result quickly now. So many times, of course, we receive regular orders with 2-3 months lead time. Many times we have to deliver within 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So we do manage that. So that is what we have been doing. So you need to have that right people who can support such kind of orders, right systems, right skills.
Be flexible then also.
Yeah.
A lot of flexibility is required.
A lot of flexibility, and main thing is that the easiest answer is to say no, I can't do it, but that will not help. The challenge is to, if it is reasonably possible, we need to find ways of getting things done instead of just saying no. So many instances we have done that. A lot of corporate orders we have received within 3 days, 3 weeks we have to deliver, but there's no leather. So so team has to be very efficient, very proactive. Go to suppliers, find materials, talk to customers. Okay, fine, it is possible in this material, this leather. This is how we are going to make it. This is available right now. So things have to be very efficient and proactive and prompt. Only then things can achieve on urgent basis.
So managing your team in a strong way, I mean strong way that by explaining this is what we should do, this is what expected from you, that is very crucial in this way, correct?
Yes, 100%. I mean, no, I need to push them. I need to push my team.
Yeah. Was there ever any circumstances that one deal almost collapsed and you could turn it around?
This happens quite often, Hugo. Because we customers have some expectation in terms of price and everything. We also have to draw a line that we cannot go below this. Like recently, it happened that we made one collection for a customer, but prices were not matching. They had a target price, and we also could not go below a certain level. So I had to travel to meet the customer. On the table, we had to come up with some solution which is a win-win scenario for both of us. So it was a bags collection. I requested the customer to add some wallets. They accepted. We negotiated on the payment terms, which benefit both of us, which we did. We negotiated on the lead time, some styles changes here and there, so that prices can be achieved within the target price. So it goes hand in hand, both sides, because ultimately it has to be a win-win scenario.
Yeah, correct.
So customer wants that thing. We need to find a way how we can get that.
Yes.
So sometimes we need to shake hands in between. So we added couple of wallet styles to that collection, and that's how we were able to get that collection.
So instead of just making a collection, send it to the buyer, and then just wait for any comments. Here you were very proactive. You met the buyer, and then on the table you really understood. Okay, this is what he wants.
Yeah.
And by adding a few other kind of items, so that your overall cost of the leather procurement and the manufacturing part came down, and that's how you also could achieve a better price
Yes.
for the customer.
Yes,
So
we made
at
some
the end-
design changes here and there also. So a lot of discussions happened, which could not happen over call or over video meeting or something. So we have to go meet them.
A personal meeting in this is very important.
Very important. Very
Correct.
important.
Has working together changed your the way that you are approaching other kind of customers?
100%, Hugo. We have been knowing each other since I think 8 years now, and
Yeah, correct.
we have spoken a lot, which has helped me understand the Western mindset much better. I would say the expectations, the customer side much better with our conversations over the years, Hugo.
Okay, good to hear.
It still does, many times still I think few instances I have discussed with you that how should I respond to the customer in such a critical scenario. So
I think it helps also, and because I was on your position before.
yes.
I was a manufacturer myself, so I understand your points of view. But as a buyer, also want the things to be done in a certain way. Want things to be executed in a certain way and on time and quality. And maybe there I can give you sometimes the right advice.
And you have given the correct advices earlier as well.
Well, it is also. I'm not a typical buyer, I would say. That is the difference between maybe other people you meet who are just being hired as a buyer. I'm a buyer with manufacturing experience.
Right.
And that's why I can understand sometimes why that material is not good enough, or
the variations, some
variation, but also the quality, how to improve the quality. And then I always look at what can be done to achieve the better outcome of the product, as well a better price, as well better quality.
Yes.
These three key factors are always important. And
yes, Hugo.
That's what I try to explain every time when we have a conversation.
Yes, and that has really helped us as well.
Looking back and talk to yourself, 2018, when you started your business, what would you have done differently in your initial stage?
I would have invested more in correct systems, correct people, correct skills.
The base.
The base. I would have invested more in that during that time.
Everything starts with the right base.
Yeah.
That sometimes people micromanage things, but what I've learned over the years is just let go of things which are not so important, but focus on to execute each and everything at the right time.
100%.
And then keep the quality in place. Quality of the product as well the quality of the people you are working with.
Quality, I think in every step there is quality, be it in communications, systems, products, services. Everything needs to be thought of and worked with quality in mind. Quality is a habit, I think. It's nothing more.
True. So what is one of your habits you put every day in place to make sure that you keep growing as a person and as a company?
Commitments, I focus a lot on commitments. Be it internal or external commitments. This is one habit which I closely link with quality also. So every day my discussions with the team is about commitments. So that is something which we always need to focus, and that is a challenging aspect also.
Especially if you work with a lot of people within an organization, they might tend to overcommit just to please you at that particular moment, which doesn't help when they cannot.
Yeah. So ultimately, if there is an overcommitment, there is a chance of failure, which really reflects on their performance. So they also understand that. But it's just not just with the people, with the suppliers also, they tend to overcommit. Just to take orders, they tend to overcommit many times. But so commitment needs to be ensured it is given rightly, internally, externally, between suppliers and us, between customers and us. So that is something where I feel that products need to be received on time. It needs to be manufactured on time. It needs to be delivered on time. So on-time deliveries, I feel, is one of the keys. Which also, if everything